It's not just a shoehorn, it's a shoehorn on a stick.
I'm Eric Von Anken, weekend anchor at Local 6, WKMG. You are listening to the Mike Carra Radio Show, Eye on Central Florida.
finally set my face. is my reason for waiting. I said I am the captain. Oh, the sea is my reason for waiting. Well, welcome back to another edition of the Mike Cara Radio Show, Eye on Central Florida. We definitely have our Eye on Central Florida. As always, proudly broadcasting from Frank's Place Restaurant and Sports Bar in beautiful Ocoee, Florida, 146 North Clark Road. And if it's happening in Ocoee, it is happening at Frank's Place. And right now, what is happening at Frank's Place is I am being joined by a great band. They're called Everyday Ghost, and with me today is Robert Johnson, who is lead vocalist and guitar player, as well as Richard Becker, who is on bass and does a little bit of vocals. And guys, it's great that you could be here today. We want to talk all about the band, and I must say I really enjoy your music, and we want to kind of talk about the vibe and the energy and what kind of music it is. Again, I never want to pigeonhole anyone, Richard, into the music, but the thing that I kind of get, and again, there's a blend of, rock, folk, alternative. There's just so many influences, but what comes to mind, I don't know if you get this, is a term I kind of just made up called fisherman rock. Is that anything appropriate?
You know what? I never heard that before, but I like it actually. It's pretty,
first off, thanks for having us, Mike.
Yeah,
sure,
definitely.
Songs of the Sea, most definitely. Fisherman rock. It's like yacht rock, but like for the blue class or the blue collar worker.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of imagery in this particular album for that. I can definitely see that being fitting. As far as the genre, I don't know. It's like you said, we never like to try to pigeonhole ourselves. There's, a pretty decent variety on this album, particularly with, the other music we play. We have almost another album's worth of material that we play as well, which has gone in almost like a totally different direction to a certain degree as well. And but as far as this one, definitely we've heard so many different genres and comparisons. Everyone says something different.
Well, for me, I feel like it's like that broad genre should be just called rock and roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's just like taking. Rock and roll got so dissected to like this and that and the other. It's like it took away from the idea of like what rock and roll should encompass, like everything. It's like taking all like jazz or blues or like European music, and it's just kind of putting it into this meld of like American like driven emotional like movement, like moving touching music. That's what rock and roll is always about, man. It's like taking the nerve and the heart of like the people and just kind of putting to music. And that's what rock and roll means to me. And so like now with like the world moving to a global like consciousness, it just makes sense that you would encompass the rest of the world.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So, we want to let everyone know that now the two of you basically then, Richard, kind of formed this band together, and we'll have Robert to tell a little bit about the history. But so basically you kind of two met, or were you best friends, or how did that work?
Well, we actually met through mutual friends, and through a bunch of people at give a shout out to old Orlando Brewing. But
home away from home.
Yeah, exactly. Second family down there. And I'd seen Robert play before. He had been playing solo and with a couple other bands too, had different musicians. And fate just lined up one day where he was putting together a music festival and said, hey, I need a bassist. Would you be interested in playing? And I'd been playing, bass pretty much just in my bedroom for quite a while at that point, with a few bands while I was still in school down here. But now after that, we did this one particular show. What was it? Corazon, right?
Corazon, yeah.
Played Corazon Music Festival and met a lot of great people there too. By the way, just like
Family
a
gang,
lot
shout
of
out.
exactly.
Peds.
A lot of our musical friends we still have today. We know from that show. But basically, guitarist and drummer. We found new people that kind of joined in afterwards, and it's just kind of been this like cake layering process. It's been pretty easy just from Robert playing, me joining, and then
Yeah, it's been a great
together.
like evolution of just music in general and like ideas. Becker, it's funny because it's kind of like he just saw what I was doing, and then he kind of like, when I asked him, I didn't even think about, I'm like, why not, dude? And he was like, sure, let's go on board.
Well, it's crazy too because like all these songs and like, you know, the incarnations of this band and these songs, like there's been so many different ones just from musical friends like Eric Brewer when he was still here. You know, you guys play a lot together. You know, he played some of your songs. You play some of his with him. You know, there's like Dwight. And then
Tony.
that whole incarnation too. And then it just sort of evolved to the point where we became the Sting.
In Orlando, like the thing about Central Florida is a lot of people, unless you're really in the like playing in the music scene, I start to see that people are getting more into this idea, but like when you stay in a scene for long enough, you can like see it grow and like kind of like contract and then grow again. And in Orlando, it's been kind of cool because like there was like this little folk scene that was happening, and there's like 10 or 12 musicians. We all kept playing together, and then it kind of grew. And then like each of these individual musicians started to have bands, like kind of like, oh, let's try out these like individual songs and make them into more of like a kind of a grander scheme, you know? And then it's just kind of like I find that in Orlando what's happening right now is people are having their full thought. It's like finally coming to fruition, like making it happen. So it's a good time to be in Orlando, I feel like, musically.
Oh, fantastic. And yeah, we want to let everyone know that you have a CD. It is called Everyday Ghost, a self-titled album, and we want to let everyone also know that all this music is original music. Now, this CD, which our audience has been listening to, several cuts. And we'll talk about your website a little bit down the line. But I mean, I'm sure this is currently available. Then people could purchase this. Then
yes, you can get it if you're in Orlando at Park Ave CDs. There's also Rock and Roll Heaven. It's on Orange Avenue, and then you can get it from our website directly at www.theeverydayghost.com. We have a little merch part on there. And you can find, I think, our first EP on iTunes, and we're pretty much out there, man. You just got to kind of look for us. But I would definitely go get it directly from the website. It helps us most out.
Okay, and now the question that we want to ask, who actually writes the songs? Is it all of the band, you two, just you, Robert, just you, Richard? Or?
See, like, it's funny, like what we were saying earlier about the layering. Like, like the first album is like my original music, like my songs that I wrote. And then the band kind of like, we grew, and these songs grew with the band. So from when I first started doing them, they've changed a great deal. And then now, as we're writing songs and moving forward, like the whole band is writing songs together. The first song we wrote together was a song called Sugar, and I think Becker came up with this bass line for the song.
Yep.
And then Austin just came up. It just kind of formed perfectly, you know. And then the words came. So that's kind of how we're doing music songs now. But the first album was really kind of like I wrote the songs, and then we just made the songs what they were, built them together,
musically.
and then musically.
Yeah, Robert had written all the songs on the first album, and I had done those, and then you know, we came in and basically added the instrumentation and everybody's different, you know, flavor and that sort of thing.
Bass, like lead guitar. But the music now though is cool because Sugar is like the first time too where Richard actually has a part writing. And he's written like we have this. It didn't have this originally, but it's like not a monologue. What is it? Like an extended ending, kind of like leading out to this like cool like groove thing. But it's cool because that's the first time that song is like the song that defines us as a band, as a whole unit. That makes sense.
Oh, okay. So basically, yeah, there was that album and this particular album, and I want to talk about, you know, some of the music and some of the songs. And now we see here that as we were mentioning, there's kind of a, you know, kind of a sea theme, songs of the sea. That your CD has different kind of pictures of you know, boats and that. And so basically, I mean, you know, we had mentioned at the beginning of this, you know, kind of fisherman rock, and, you know, kind of, is that but something that you kind of keep your whole theme, or something for just this album?
Man.
Or
No, my dad was my dad was on the sea for 20 years, and then my grandfather was a fisherman. But then also, like on the inside of the cover, my dad has been a trucker for 20 years, and my grandfather and my uncle, and so it's kind of like it's more about travelers, I guess, is what I would, if I would consider it anything. It's about traveling and having that mentality. But there are songs about the sea because, I mean, to me, the sea speaks to me. Like we're water signs. Like his dad was Marine, so it's just kind of, and we love the beach. It's kind of like it's just one of them things where, if I were to choose between like a here or there, it'd be like anywhere near a beach. That's home to me, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's definitely good to know. And yeah, so before we go to break, I want to talk about some of the music here. And a song that we have here is "Oh Boy," and that sounds like an interesting song. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Either one. Don't rush.
Let Rich talk about the music of it.
Oh man. Well, Oh Boy itself is a pretty straightforward rock song with just kind of a real catchy melodic chorus, I guess, and has just real driving breakdown in it. It's kind of hard to break a song down like that because, I mean, to me, it's just kind of good old-fashioned rock and roll type of feel. It's just got that, driving rhythm behind it, and I think that's one thing that has always kind of defined our music is the rhythmic aspects of the different songs. When you kind of break a song down traditionally, we always identify different genres and things like that when you think about it really by the rhythm that we're hearing, whether it's, R&B or rock or even jazz.
It's that flow, baby.
Yeah, you can tell directly from the drums or the percussion section, all those different things. But that one, pretty straightforward rock and roll. Definitely one of my favorites to play. Also a burner for first song in a set. You're just starting off with a bang. I'm always thinking, "Oh Boy."
yeah, I like "Oh Boy" a lot. So, can I tell you the behind
the lyrics?
Yes,
are a lot more interesting.
Yes, whatever you like.
Man. But that song for me, I originally wrote that song because we were coming up with a concept album. Like in my mind, for a second album, I was thinking like a concept album and like having it where it was like the movement of like man into like into outer space and all those like different ideas. And so I wrote this song called "Oh Boy," and I was like, I'm gonna take the analogy of Plato and like the cave, or the allegory of the cave, and like the idea of that is to me it stands out as like the idea of following in your dreams. You always. The allegory of the cave is where man is in a cave and he sees these shadows projected from on the wall from outside, and the shadows in the people in the cave's mind is reality. They think that's the world that they live in. That's it. And someone in the cave decides that I want to go outside and see what's out there, the real world. And then everyone in the cave is like, no. And then they go out into the world and then they see it and they're like, wow, it's so different. And then they come back into the cave and they're like, this isn't how the world is. Like, it's so different. It's not these, like, shadows on a wall. And then that's kind of like, oh, boy. It's like that moment when the person is trying to get out of the cave and people are like, oh, you can't go out into the world and see it because it's so dangerous. It's so big. It's so scary.
It's like take hold of your dreams.
You got to take hold of your dreams. Can't do that. But that's what oh, boy is. Like, the words of it mean to me.
Oh, okay. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and we will be back. My guests today are members of a great band. They're called Everyday Ghosts. You're listening to the Mike Cara Radio Show. I on Central Florida here at Frank's Place, 146 North Clark Road in beautiful Ocoee, Florida. And please stay with us for our next segment of this edition of our program today.
Don't worry. We'll finish it in time for your fight.
You'd better. And it better be good. Because if I don't like it, Friday becomes die day.
Your fight's on Thursday.
Yeah, I know, but nothing rhymes with Thursday. I mean...
Oh, that's true. That's right. Nothing does.
Hey, everybody. I'm weekend meteorologist Elizabeth Hart from Local 6. You are listening to the Mike Cara Radio Show, I on Central Florida.
Welcome back to our next segment of this edition of the Mike Kara Radio Show, Eye on Central Florida. Definitely have our eye on Central Florida as we are here at Frank's Place Restaurant and Sports Bar, 146 North Clark Road in beautiful Ocoee, Florida. And if it's happening in Ocoee, it is happening at Frank's Place. And right now, what is happening at Frank's Place is I'm being joined by two members of a great band. They're called Everyday Ghosts. And guys, we've been talking about, the music, and we'll get back to the songs. But now as far as venues, I want to talk about that because we're mentioning all the different influences, but at the same time just trying to get back to good old rock and roll, just trying to get to trying to get back to that, Robert. And so I mean, as far as venues like I said, I'm still learning. I'm still new to Orlando. Is there a lot of rock clubs in downtown Orlando, or?
Well,
Kind of.
That's a mix. Yes, of course. There's the social.
The social, for sure.
The Beecham,
Back Booth.
Back Booth, yeah, a lot of rock shows go on there. Club 57 West puts a lot of rock shows there.
Tanqueray has been kind of some rock and roll.
Yeah, I feel like, in my opinion,
it's not known as a rock place usually, but
it fits the bill, though, man.
It's like, yeah, if it's good, they'll take you.
Exactly. And then I've been seeing a lot that this one club on Pine Street, can't think of the name of it right now. But it's right next to Envy, and they're playing a lot of rock shows there. I've been seeing. So I guess there's a few venues here and there. And then Will's Pub, of course, but that's like outside of downtown. But Will's, I would say, is probably the downtown rock venue.
Oh yeah,
like more than anywhere else.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. And now, as far as venues that you guys play, have you played, or are you planning on playing, or would like to play at any of those venues you just mentioned? Or?
Well, we've played at some of them already, for sure.
Yeah, the venues that we've been playing, we did our CD release show on July 13th at the Plaza Theater.
Oh, okay.
Which is, in my opinion, the best venue downtown. I guess it's kind of right up there with the Beecham. I really want to play the Beecham.
It's my favorite music venue.
Yeah,
as
most
far
definitely.
As sound quality, the fact
Lights,
that it's not just
comfiness,
reeking of smoke. Also,
parking.
kind of.
Yeah, there's a lot of really awesome reasons there, and it has a good vibe though. That's the one thing that I dig about it. Like the Room, I've seen they have two different theaters, and I've seen one show in the big theater where. Man, it was amazing. There's this who's that? Like that one Hank Williams III or something at the end of the night. He's doing this really rock death metal thing. It was video,
yeah.
And it was awesome. I was mesmerized by the show, man. I was just kind of but it was cool because he did his country country rockabilly, and then he went into this death metal thing, and it was this whole section of life, heavy metal people, and then rockabillys. And dude, it was cool to see how the crowd meshed with each other. And I'd never seen that anywhere else other than this Man show that was at the Plaza. And then there's this Man show I saw with at the Back Booth, and that was the greatest show I'd ever been in Orlando, where it was just energy and rocking people, and it was a tiny spot. The Back Booth is not a very big spot.
No, it's not a huge
and it was just packed, and people were just going crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. But those are, but those aren't necessarily.
We've been fortunate. I mean, we've played House of Blues, know, and there's a lot of great venues in Orlando for sure. There's just a ton of great spots, but when you can find that combination of sound and also right size and all that stuff, and also each venue you play at too, you always come across a different type of vibe. Or
prime example, Orlando Brewing Company.
Yeah, exactly.
Orlando Brewing is my favorite place to play. It's like a second home to me. It's not necessarily the best conventional music venue, but man, I've seen some awesome shows and I've played some awesome shows there, and it just feels it's just a vibe, it's the afterwards, it's it's the during, it's in between, it's all those times where you're just yeah, this is just, it's homey, and that's cool. And it's way off the beaten path, and you don't got to worry about all that downtown weirdness that goes on downtown sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
How long have you spent down there, Mike? Come on, tell us. You want us to go into some dark stories? You want to make this behind the music already?
Well, speaking of different venues, now we're mentioning around Orlando, but tell us a little bit about your range now as far as, I mean, you perform all over Central Florida. I mean, do you hit Tampa? I mean, I'm sure you guys are up for anything, but I mean, what's your normal zone area, I guess?
Sanford's been our other zone. We played on New Smyrna Beach is somewhere where Ben and I have been playing a lot in Austin. So like out branching, we've played as far as like I guess Cocoa Beach, Daytona Beach we played at, and then we haven't played in Tampa yet. Tampa's our next place. I want to be on the radio in Tampa
We
real soon.
actually haven't spread too far quite yet as far as like traveling out and really making it out. We spent a lot of time just because, it's before you go out, you want to see if you can just, cut your teeth even in your own hometown. And like it takes pretty much any band a while, especially in Orlando. It's real hard to find loyal music listeners, it seems, just because there's so much down there. You never know, what you're going to catch, and there's so many different types of music. I mean, aside from just the venues we name for rock clubs, it's like you got every other type of music
Hip-hop
out there, electronic music, all that type of stuff.
Most of it's like DJ stuff. People love DJ stuff in Orlando.
Exactly.
I mean, they love rock music. Like I find that like a lot of the fans in Orlando, when they hear about something that they like they really become.
They love it.
Yeah, they're like, this is my music. This is the thing that I love. But it's hard to reach those people. It's like, as a musician in Orlando, it seems like the circles that you need to find, like, we're two going like on a narrow straight path, to find the circles or something. It just doesn't ring. So like we spent a lot of time trying to find the different rings, like, of Orlando, like, loyal listeners. And we have a great fan base here, so it's been awesome for us because now we got a good launching pad to go from.
And like people who really enjoy music, because like, I mean, just going back to kind of Orlando was a real interesting spot for me when I moved out here. I actually moved out here from Oregon. And
oh, great.
Yeah. And it was like, it's definitely different just because, there's so much going on downtown. There's just so many distractions, and of course you got Disney and all these other things. And as a town, it kind of got, in my, as from an outsider's perspective, built up in that way, and people kind of grew accustomed to it. And so, with all that distraction out there, it's like it took longer to find people that were, actively listening and searching for those things rather than just being, oh, here's another, club or type of music or something just being handed towards me all the time. Because you get bombarded by it. I mean, I don't think I've gone to as many shows in my life and been to as many different venues, heard things, experienced things
Orlando,
since I've moved here for sure. It's
like nonstop. Every day you could go find something to go do or listen to or be part of, and it's just like, it's weird because when you don't imagine that Orlando is like that. You think like Los Angeles, New York City, or like those places. And like, of course there's everything going on there at all times. That's New York City and Chicago and like Los Angeles. But you don't think of Orlando as like, on a Friday or on a Tuesday I could go see like 7 bands and like 12 different venues.
Yeah.
Or through Central Florida, it's like, so it can be inundating and overwhelming, and people be kind of like, oh, I don't want to make the effort.
Yeah.
Because it's just any day of the week I can go make the effort and be rewarded. So as a musician coming up in that, it's kind of, it makes you have to work harder, You can't just like, let me spend my time making like these. You got to figure out a strategy and approach instead of just being able to sit there and I'm gonna go play on Tuesday and 500 people are gonna show up because I don't ever get the opportunity to do that. But now, like, I find a lot of bands have to constantly be like, hey, be our fan.
You got to do the promotion. You got to be out there. That's for sure.
Got to be on point.
Yep.
That's just how it works. So
Exactly.
in Orlando, if you're going to be a musician here, you got to be on point.
Yeah.
So Central Florida musicians.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good to know here. Yeah, we want to get back to the music here. And now another song that was described as kind of a real good one. I mean, a real, I guess, party song was the song Saturday. And so who would like to tell us about this one? Or Rich, you want to talk about the music part?
I'll let Robert talk about it. Hey, this is a guy who wrote the stuff. I can tell you what it's like writing a little bass line for you, but I think
but the bass line for that is awesome, man. Yeah, I used to play with this cat, and he was an awesome bass player. And this is actually Becker mentioned him earlier. His name is Dwight Johnson. Great guitar, great bass player, solid fundamentals. And he told me the first time when I used to play with him, he was like, he's like, Robert, this is the first song you wrote that was a hit. And then like our other friend Josh Jones loves the song, and he had said it indirectly. He was like, "Yo, this is my favorite song, Johnson." He's like, "It's the first one you ever made that's worth a." Can we say bad words?
Sure.
He says it's the first song you wrote, Johnson, that's ever worth a shit. And he's just funny. He's from Tennessee. He's got that. And so, but for me, I wrote that song one night, and I was just sitting there, and I wrote it about like relationships, but kind of like in a funny way, you know, like it's like, yo, baby, it's just Saturday night. Let's just have a good time, you know, like let's not argue or fight or anything. Let's just like go out and party and do, you know, have fun. And that's kind of like. That's the long and short of it. It's like the moment where you're just kind of like, hey, don't walk away, please. You know, like I'm trying to just have a good time with you. I want to get back to that, get back to the good. And that's how it goes. And we got these awesome movements in the song too. And it's the first one where we've taken the ba ba ba, you know, just really like our sound, you know, that beat that every day goes breakdown ba ba ba.
Well, that song was a straight up acoustic song before. You know, there's
brought that bass and brought the hammer, baby.
The rock and roll aspect got added on later when the full band joined.
Oh, okay. Well, we look forward to listening to that one again. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for our last segment. My guests today are the band Everyday Ghosts. You are listening to the Mike Kara radio program, Eye on Central Florida, and we are here at Frank's Place, Restaurant and Sports Bar, 146 North Clark Road in beautiful Ocoee, Florida. And please stay with us for our last segment of this edition of our program today.
Tear the shirt off and seal the deal.
I'm Eric Von Anken, weekend anchor at Local 6 WKMG. You are listening to the Mike Kara radio show, Eye on Central Florida.
Saturday.
Welcome back to our final segment of this edition of the Mike Kara Radio Show, Eye on Central Florida. Definitely have our eye on Central Florida as we are here at Frank's Place Restaurant Sports Bar, 146 North Clark Road in beautiful Ocoee, Florida. If it's happening at Ocoee, it is happening at Frank's Place. Right now, what is happening at Frank's Place? My guests today are a great band called Everyday Ghost. And we've been talking all about the music, and we have two more songs we want to mention that our audience has listened to, and one of them is Old Black Road. And
the Old Black Road.
So
Robert.
I wrote that song. I used to drive from Orlando to Pensacola every week, and it was the first time I started playing in an Orlando Brewing Company. It was like a weekly show I did, and I worked for my brother in Northwest Florida. I used to drive it. I'd be in a car for 40 hours a week or something like like 30 hours, something like that, driving the coast of Florida. And I wrote that song about that, that old black road. It just kind of like spent a lot of time in the dark in Central Florida, driving up 75 to 10. And Florida, highway-wise, doesn't have the best roads to kind of like anything. But man, on that old black road, you got to watch out for all like the wildlife on the sides of the road, and then like all the stars, just like nothing but trees and black, man. And that's what that song's about. It's kind of like the idea of being out on that old black road. You gotta watch out, keep going, move forward, you know?
It's one of my favorite bass lines to play.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. We started doing this intro to it too. It's like real dope. The hand drums and kind of like a groove. That was the first song that we had that I felt was the most solid. Like we never messed that song up ever. Just kind of like...
Yeah, when we first started playing, that one just locked immediately.
Yeah,
just one of
immediately. Had that great energy. It was just like, move.
When did the ending come?
Oh, when did the ending come to that song, man? I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah, this is a cool ending to the song. You gotta listen to it, man. It's
Yeah,
just
well,
like,
That was a Robert Johnson classic before on acoustic guitar, and it was still cooking then too, but it definitely got
that song
taken
blew
to a
up,
high
man.
level.
Yeah, never going back from that, you know. Like,
oh, okay.
I think that was a Jeremy Meyer ending. That had to have been.
Yeah,
like,
I think
he's
it is.
just a banger, man.
Yeah,
Our first drummer is Jeremy Meyer. We call him Maestro.
he plays on this album. We actually have
he's the drummer on the album.
a new
Okay.
drummer now, Ben Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a new drummer is playing with you now. So this is the old drummer.
He's our original drummer.
And he was just
He is a
was
banger,
just-
man. Like straight rock and roll.
exactly straight up rock and roll, banging that kit.
Yeah.
Solid.
And I think
Solid
he
the
came
whole
up with
time.
that like ba 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 ba.
Oh, he came up with that himself then, huh?
I believe so.
Oh,
We'll give you
oh.
some credit there.
Okay. that sounds...
You having fun, Mike?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm definitely having a fun here. And yeah, we want to let everyone know, guys. Now, you do all original music. However, we understand that you do some covers, in shows and that. But I'm interested to know then what are the covers, and they go with this Fisherman Rock traveling sea music then.
No, the covers really don't go to that. Like the
No,
one,
not at all. I mean,
like we did a cover of
we do a Bob Marley medley.
Oh, yeah, the
Run
Bob
through
Marley?
a couple Bob songs just because
do
seems like
Painted
everyone
Black
loves
too.
those
Bob
down
Marley
here in Orlando.
anywhere near the beach, man.
Yeah.
Bob Marley is
can't
probably
go
my
wrong
favorite
with
song, like favorite music to listen to that someone would cover. Well, if someone does a good job of Bob Marley, then you're like, man, that's solid.
We try to pay due respects to it.
Yeah, you got
for
to.
sure.
Got
Keep
to.
the feel.
But the first song that we ever covered was "Dire Maker" by Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We were supposed to play this, or we did play this film festival, and we're just used to playing original music. And so they're like, "Hey, you gotta fill like 3 hours," and we're like, "Oh, this is before we could fill 3 hours." And we're like, "Oh, let's learn some songs." And we did "Dire Maker," which we did a good job of.
Did some
Pretty-
Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Yeah, Last Dance. We did "Painted Black."
Painted
It's probably
Black.
my favorite cover that we do is "Painted Black."
Yeah, Painted Black.
That's a burner. It's just like.
We've been meaning to put up a digital free download of it up on our website because we recorded it when we did the first album, but we didn't.
But we never.
We never ended up finishing it. Well, we knew we didn't want to put it on the album, have a cover on there. So
Yeah. we're still kind of fleshing it out at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. That's what we do.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a few covers. So that you just mentioned, Richie, you really don't have much a desire to put then covers on the album, even though that we're talking that you could make it your own. You like the original music.
Yeah, original music is what we like.
Great.
I mean, yeah, that's what we like to do.
That's fine. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we as we mentioned, all this music that is originals, and let's talk about the last one our audience has been listening to, and this one sounds like a good one. I Am the Captain.
Yes, I Am the Captain is that's the last song on the album, and that song is that song I wrote while I was in Africa, and one of my best friend's dads, he was talking with me, and he was telling me about life and like what I was doing, how everything was going. It's just one of them moments where you don't want to listen to somebody, but you know what they're saying is right. And then you decide that there's like you gotta either listen to other people or move forward in the thing that you gotta do in your path. And that's kind of like when I wrote that song. Like the idea of I Am the Captain is understand that you are the vessel of your life and you can control every moment of it, whether good or bad or right or wrong. Like it's your choice, and that's what that song's about, man. It's like the moment when you realize that you are the captain. You got to take control. Future's left to the imagination, you know. Like you can do what it is that you want to do, or you can do what you're told to do. And there's always the outside forces that'll make your path move where you need to move it, or not. You know, like that's how it is.
Oh, well, now was this the one that you're saying that there was a YouTube video of, or one of?
No, that was
them?
Devil, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's Devil.
We can't use.
Okay, so you do have some. Now that's a music video, but do you have like YouTube videos of your concerts or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, we got a number
getting
of fan videos and stuff like that people have taken. We haven't done anything ultra high production necessarily yet, or had like a whole concert film from front to back. I don't believe, except for
we had our EP. We did do that. Like Gabe LeBlanc, who's kind of like our photographer or unofficial official photographer, and when we released our EP, which is the video you see from The Devil We Call on You, like we did a whole concert, but it was just like it just never followed through on post-production yet. Kind of, it's still like up in the works, but we're trying to realize with our new drummer, we want to have that
what it
imagery
is
captured
now.
what we're
I
doing
think,
with our music. Yeah.
Because even back then, the music has changed.
It's changed
so
a great
much.
deal.
Yeah,
It's grown, and that's the beauty about. That's one thing that has always been awesome about, like simplicity of music. Like it always leaves room for improvement, and also taking away. You know, like true art to me is not how much you can paint on there. It's like how much you can leave off and make it just right.
Oh yeah, that definitely sounds good there. Okay, and now I also want to talk about your website and Facebook. I think I found you on Facebook then, and you have, and I think that's where I had originally listened to the music then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so to tell us about, now you have
I'll
a main
let Becker do this one. Yeah.
Oh, so you're the official one.
I guess so.
He's a webmaster.
You're the webmaster.
Well, what would you like to know about it, Mike?
Well, just basically the addresses of them.
All right. Well, you can find us at www.theeverydayghosts.com. That's our main website. Of course, on Facebook, you can find us just as Everyday Ghosts. Both the website and our Facebook, of course, have music, pictures, all that stuff to check out. Videos, shows, where we'll be playing next.
Which is at the West End Trading Company in Sanford, and then after that, it's we're gonna play at Tanqueray's on Tuesday. What day is that? The 7th?
Yep.
August 7th.
And basically on both too, you can find things just like blogs, posts from all the band members. Of course, on Facebook we have just running wall posts all the time with our fans and stuff like that.
Fans, pictures,
comments, all that type of thing. So yeah, go ahead, drop us a comment. Hit us
like
up.
us.
If you really want to get the music or check out some of the other merch we have, you can, of course, always visit the website. And the website
has a merch tab on it, I think it's, or the store. I can't remember.
If you just go to Facebook, you can find it all.
All
even
above.
Even the website.
Yeah, exactly. Vice versa.
Oh, that sounds great. And
that darn Facebook. I don't like telling people to go there. It's like, well, thanks. It's like I'm on there 24/7 already. Now I got someone else telling me to go up on Facebook.
On Facebook, man.
That's where we live these days.
Oh, yeah.
Social media.
Yeah, social media. That's it. So, yeah, we encourage everyone to check all that out. And, again, if anyone's listening, that whether they're a bar owner or having a party or something, you guys are always looking for, and especially if everyone listen to the music and say, hey, you are a perfect fit for our festival. You're currently accepting gigs then, huh?
Yes, we are. We're trying to get on a college circuit, but we would definitely, if it's a venue that's awesome, we'd love to play it. That's where we're at, man. We wanna reach new ears.
We're just all about reaching new people and that type of thing. And it's like, we started to build up really good. We've got a great core base of fans in Orlando, and even there we're reaching new people all the time, it seems. But
it's awesome.
We are definitely open to play for anyone that appreciates music and enjoys it.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much for your time. Appreciate stopping by. Any final thoughts or anything else you'd like to mention about everyday? Oh, yeah, one thing I probably should have asked at the beginning of this interview. The name. Well, we got it before you left, at least. We got
get out of it.
All right. Well, this is another Robert Johnson question.
All right, so everyday goes to me like, in life, you'll have like a certain smell or like a certain sound, and like you'll just remember it, and it brings you back to that moment when you first smelled it, like your grandma's cookies, or like coffee the first time you ever smelled it, or like a certain song when you're like driving and someone said I love you or whatever, or like those moments. To me, like that's what everyday ghost is. It's like when you're passing by and like you get that smell and you're just like brought there, and you give you the goosebumps. So when I came up with the name of the band, I wanted to have something like that. I wanted to make music that could inspire that again, like those moments to happen for people. And that's what Everyday Ghost is. And that's what it means to me.
Oh, fantastic. So that's great. And any final thoughts or anything else? Yeah, check the websites. And
thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us, Mike. I mean,
enjoyed ourselves.
Thank you for bringing us out here to Ocoee. I haven't been out here, actually.
Yeah, I've never been to Ocoee. I live in Central Florida.
Oh.
Maybe we should come out to Ocoee
Where would
party.
you like to see Everyday Ghosts play in Ocoee?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
How about Frank's
Let's
place?
play Frank's.
So, yeah, maybe we'll
do a live show.
We'll make a trip out for you.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, well, I guess have been Everyday Ghosts. Joining me are Robert Johnson and Richard Becker, and you've been listening to the Mike Carroll Radio Show, Eye on Central Florida, here at Frank's Place Restaurant and Sports Bar, 146 North Clark Road in beautiful Ocoee, Florida. And please catch us again next time.